of Selectmen held 2 meetings this week, but a couple of key issues remain unresolved, including what to do about the town hall. And the Planning Board postpones its vote once again on the proposed gas station development project at Chestnut Street and Shaker Road. We'll bring you up to speed on what happened in town government this week. Also ahead, warmer weather helps work crews building a brand new pool at Pine Knoll. But will it be ready in time for the start of summer? We'll have a progress report. And the latest on the new tennis court at ELHS. Bids will be open soon, with hopes of breaking ground as soon as school lets out. Those stories and more just ahead on ELCAT News Week in Review. Good evening, I'm Yasmin Najibi. We begin tonight with 2 meetings held this past week by the Board of Selectmen. At an unusual Friday session on April 11th, the board welcomed newly elected member William Gorman before voting to reorganize its member responsibilities. Angela Thorpe will now serve as chairman for the coming year, Paul Federici will serve as clerk, and Bill Gorman will be the chairman of the Board of Health. The board then met with the planning board to attempt to resolve 2 vacancies on the planning board, resulting from errors on the town election ballot.
There were 2 positions on the planning board that were vacant.
Yes.
A 1-year, balance of a remaining term, which was for 1 year.
Right.
And then a second position, which was a full term for 5 years.
Yes.
One individual, Mr. Richards, submitted nomination papers for the 1-year position, and a sitting planning board member, Mr. Carabetta, submitted papers for the 5-year position.
That is correct.
Through some inadvertence, the 1-year position was not listed at all on the ballot. The 5-year position was listed on the ballot, but the 1-year candidate, Mr. Richards, was listed as the person to be elected to that position. And the sitting board member who had returned nomination papers for the 5-year position, Mr. Carabetta, was not listed on the ballot.
Yes.
As a result, the election took place. No one voted for a 1-year term. Mr. Richards received the most votes for a 5-year term, and Mr. Carabetta received votes as a write-in candidate because he wasn't on the ballot.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to have a joint meeting on the 22nd of April for the reason of appointing 2 positions on the planning board.
So moved.
Do I, a second?
Yeah, second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That meeting is scheduled for April 22nd at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Next, the Board of Public Works joined the Selectmen to discuss its own proposed renovation of the existing town hall to address the long-standing shortage of space.
So our building and the physical layout could really use a 2015 version or 2016 version, which would be just most productive for everybody. What's real important to understand, though, we could do phase 1 and stop. So that's very important too for people to understand, even though it's a 3-phase and the total cost to get completely done like we know the COA is, it isn't like we're gonna have plastic hanging if the taxpayers don't vote next year for phase 2. We will do it in such a manner that we won't obligate the taxpayers to follow through with 2 and 3. It will be totally at their option next year. You know, past this part, we're gonna do the things that we said, and it'll be totally usable space. Next year, we come back and say, this is what we're planning to do. Totally usable space, and if it takes a third, you know, if we bust up the 610 into a 3-something and a 3-something, or whatever we do, it'll be totally non-dependent one to the next.
The Board of Public Works presented plans and indicated that it will sponsor an article on the town meeting warrant for the project. The Selectmen have also received 2 alternative proposals for town hall space, including purchase of an existing office building on North Main Street. On Tuesday, the board met again to discuss both proposals. Owners of the North Main Street property were in attendance and told the board they'd work with the board to ensure the building would meet the requirements spelled out in the bid document.
Right now, you know, we're in the position where it doesn't really, I guess in our opinion, like the elevator things don't meet what we had looked for in our, you know, in our RFPs.
I believe the RFP specifically said ADA compliant as determined by the building inspector. We had the building inspector pre-approve, I guess, the the plans that we had drawn up for to put the elevator into the building. So his determination was that that would meet code.
Okay.
Also, I would just say, it sounds like there's a number of things that are worthy of a discussion.
Town Administrator Nick Bro urged the board to resolve the status of the submitted bids so that the proposals to be considered at town meeting could be included in the warrant.
I would ask the board to consider either awarding a bid to one of the proposers and then subsequently putting it onto the warrant for consideration by the town, or for the board to reject the proposals so that the bidders can be notified.
Also on Tuesday, the planning board met only to continue its public hearing on the proposed gas station project until April 29th. The petitioners requested this continuation. A vote to grant a special permit requires 4 affirmative votes from the 5-member board. Pending the appointment of Michael Carabetta, that meant a vote on Tuesday would have had to have been unanimous. And finally, last Thursday, the Appropriations Committee voted to accept its fiscal year 2015 budget recommendations for the annual town meeting. The committee will present its annual budget hearing to the public this Thursday, April 24th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Residents are strongly encouraged to attend and ask questions about how their tax dollars will be spent in the coming year. In other news, from time to time, ELCAT has brought you progress reports on several different ongoing projects in town. The first is the new pool at Pine Knoll. The Department of Public Works is happy to report that the pool is so far on time and on budget. The nicer weather, we're told, is helping crews speed up the process. Here's the DPW's Building Operations Manager, Bruce Fenney.
Everything's going on time and on schedule. The rebar and all the steel is in place as of right now. They plan on shooting after inspections today to do the gunite portion of the pool, start shooting it tomorrow. So hopefully by the end of the week, that whole process will be complete, and we can start the backfilling process, the gutter, main gutter installations, and all the other related piping.
Fenney says the contractor has worked hard to work around Mother Nature.
Absolutely. The contractor's been phenomenal, and just because of the weather has not allowed us to do a lot of things at that facility, especially with the freezing weather. You can't shoot gunite when it's below freezing outside.
The pool is scheduled to open in June. According to the Recreation Department, memberships are already up and Pine Knoll camps are filling up fast in anticipation of the new facility. We can't give you an update on the new pool without also taking a look at what's happening with the new tennis courts at East Long Meadow High School. Unlike the pool, construction has not begun, but behind the scenes, progress is happening quickly. The current courts are still being used by the high school tennis team, but as ELCAT reported last month, now that a new design plan has been determined, the next step is to select the best bid for the project. Once again, we talked to Bruce Fenney.
The bids went out last Wednesday. The bid opening for that project will be the 22nd. That process is going well. We'll see what the budget numbers come in at once we receive them, but it's looking good.
Fenney says the DPW is doing some of the work themselves and in the process saving the town some money.
The DPW is going to be doing some of the work. We're going to be demoing the old fence. We're going to take down the 7 lights that were not renovated previously. We'll be taking those down, sanding the poles up, painting them, and then we'll be retrofitting those fixtures with new LED lights.
Fenney says if all goes as planned, the new tennis courts will be ready by the end of August. A big night for the East Long Meadow Scholarship Foundation. The ELSF joined together with Panera Bread last week for a fundraiser called Eat Bread to Raise Dough. East Long Meadow residents were encouraged to come to Panera on North Main Street for a late lunch or early dinner. A percentage of the sales from the event go directly to the foundation. By all accounts, the night was a big success.
Panera has helped us a great deal, and all the money raised today will go towards scholarships. So we look at it as an opportunity to maybe in a day raise 2 or 3 scholarships. So the foundation's purpose is to raise money to grant scholarships to any East Long Meadow residents, and it's to try to help defray the cost of going to college. It was started in 1961. It's been strong every year, giving scholarships to hundreds and hundreds of students, and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's been very good, and again, it's been over 40 years, over 50 years. So it's gone on for a long time. It depends on the number of applicants, but we probably range between 18 and 20 new scholarships per year, and then probably somewhere between 35 and 40 renewal scholarships per year. So this year, we'll give out 58 scholarships.
For more information, contact the East Long Meadow Scholarship Foundation. A community event reminder from the East Long Meadow Police Department. If you have any medications you no longer need or that have expired, the ELPD encourages you to stop by the station April 26th. That is the official Drug Take Back Day. The 26th is a Saturday, and the time old prescriptions will be taken is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. A reminder, simply throwing away old medications is dangerous, so again, police and healthcare professionals urge you to clean out your medicine cabinets and take advantage of this free and safe service. Also, as you do your spring cleaning and have anything from an old TV to an outdated computer, the high school is hosting a Go Green e-cycling day next month. The day is Saturday, May 3rd, right at the high school, so that gives you plenty of time to get ready. Organizers will accept anything from old microwaves, TVs, appliances, to gas grills, old treadmills, and lawnmowers. The price to e-cycle ranges from $5 to $25, depending on the size. All proceeds benefit East Long Meadow schools. More rain this week means more chances for flooding. On Tuesday, some parts of western Mass saw 2 to 3 inches of rain. Forecasters predicted some rivers and streams would overfill their banks. That was just the case here at Heritage Park in East Long Meadow. You can see the benches that surround the pond are just about underwater. Officials say this is pretty normal for the pond in springtime, and water should return to normal levels in the coming week. Also returning, the swans. They are back, which is a sure sign that spring is here to stay. That'll do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching ELCAT News Week in Review. I'm Yasmin Najibi. Good night.